That's right. What's going on? Here's Sosha. Here's Robbie. We're here. I don't know why I called you Robbie. I've never called you that in my life. Rob's hanging
kind of
too.
uncomfortable.
Right?
What's up, bud?
That's what the show's all about. There's no comfort level at all here on the show, except for the fans. They like to laugh at us. A lot of stuff to get into today. It's glad to see. I mean, Floyd Mayweather, the multi-million-dollar lawsuit for the canceled fight. You know, that's huge. We'll talk about that.
Yep.
Also, want to talk about Lorenzo Hunt. This blew my mind. I saw it, and we have footage of this. He showed up. Lorenzo Hunt, the juggernaut, shows up to Hector Lombard's gym, just walks in Miami, and challenges him.
Dude, that's brave.
Yeah,
he's
been talking a lot of trash, too. We'll talk about all that. I wouldn't do it,
Yep.
but it's Lorenzo Hunt, man. He's very confident. And then Charles Oliveira.
That's good.
How
you
about
got
that? I got it. I got the fight. He got the fight. I didn't get it. He got the fight. And what a great thing that was. I mean, ran around the arena. We're going to get into that. That was stunning that happened. I was very excited for him. And then also, of course, Tyson Fury. There's a lot to talk about with Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua fight, and even more than meets the eye, because there might be some Bkfc involved in here from what I'm seeing. We'll get into that in a little bit. And then also, I want to talk to the baboon. We have him coming on today. I call him the bare knuckle baboon. Luis Palomino coming on as he heads into the fight against Tyler Goodjohn coming up in June. It's going to be a great fight. A lot of smack talk coming from Tyler. Luis will always answer it. So I can't wait to see. I'm very uncomfortable to be around these guys at the same time. It could pop off. I was in the middle of a little problem they had before. We'll get into that. I'm sure we have footage of that. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff like that today. But let's get into what we call the trending topics, and then we'll get into more of the BKFC news, because there's so much going on in the fighting world now.
There is.
I mean, we'll start with Floyd Mayweather. Files a $120 million lawsuit against originally scheduled Logan Paul fight. Do you know anything more about this?
In Dubai. Apparently it was scheduled for Dubai. What a beautiful area. But originally scheduled for Dubai, why it fell through, and I think that's why it may have been canceled initially. So now he filed a lawsuit. I don't know, man. He might be getting cold feet.
Who?
Floyd Mayweather, on whether this fight with him and Logan Paul is going to sell.
Because, I thought you meant to fight him. Like, you out of your mind? What kind of drugs are you taking?
I don't know, man. Look, Logan Paul is big. What is he, 195? Floyd's what, 145?
But Floyd is Floyd. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, dude, world champion, world-class athlete. 50 pounds, though, on a boxer. That's
so what, this fight's not going to happen now? Is that the deal?
I don't know. Well, the fight wasn't canceled.
Okay.
It was something with the original venue now that he's suing regarding that, $120 million.
So he could stand to make $120 million to a lawsuit, then maybe $100 million or more for the fight when it actually happens.
They don't call him Money Mayweather for
Man,
nothing,
cashing
brother.
in.
Right?
I got to find somebody I can. Can I sue you? Or I don't even know what
you ain't
for.
going to get nothing.
No blood from a stone.
That's right.
So, I mean, look, we talk about Jake Paul till we're blue in the face. We talk about the Paul brothers, all the Pauls till we're blue in the face. So I'm interested to see what happens with that fight. Again, I said I'm going to watch if and when it happens. I know you will too. But let's talk about something I know we were both watching. UFC. UFC from the past weekend. Oh, man. Yeah. Tony Ferguson. Let's talk about that first.
Oh, is it? Is it over? Is that it?
I don't know. See, I like him, but you got to know when to call it a career, right? I mean, I can't call it a career for him. You can. He's got to figure that out on his own or with his family or something.
Yeah, I mean, he got dominated. He got out wrestled. He got out jiu-jitsu'd, if that's even a term.
Jiu-jitsu, I like that.
Got out grappled throughout the entire fight. What I want to reference is what actually Khabib had said after his fight with Justin Gaethje, that after all the damage he took, he's not coming back, that he's not going to be the same fighter. And he's right, man. Since that fight, since that battering that he took, I mean, he took some shots after shots after shots. Listen, the guy has so much heart, maybe too much heart for his own good. And I don't know. I would be hard-pressed, and it's, from some of the articles and from what I'm hearing from insiders, Dana White's kind of on the fence of what the next step is for him.
And you look for heart in a fighter. It's one of my favorite things. I think the fans, too, the favorite thing to see is the heart. You look for that fighting spirit, that heart, and it's a wonderful thing until it comes to the end of the career and they have more heart than brains at some point, some would say, because you don't want to see these guys get hurt. You want them to make their money, but you don't want to see them get hurt. Maybe they find another spot in the organization for him. Maybe they find something outside of fighting, analyzation or something. I don't know what he could do. I'd love to see more for him because he seems awesome to me. I just don't want to see him get beat up.
Me neither. And this is one of the most hot topics, when to call it quits. I'd love to hear what people have to say. Drop us your comments in the chat. When is it time to call it quits? Is 3 too much? Is the beating that he took compounded, or is there a future for Tony Ferguson? You know, people have come back after losses, a string of wins.
You've
So
seen
I'd
it
love
many
to hear.
times. Can he? That's the question. Let us know in the chat. We'd love to hear from you, as we always do. And hello to the chat, by the way. I don't think we even said hello to you, so thank you for being here with us today. We appreciate that. As we move on and talk more about UFC, Oliveira taking on Chandler. I had Chandler. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be Chandler, but what 2 rounds, right?
Yeah, so Chandler looked like he was about to stop him in the first. I mean, ground and pound, just rocking him. I thought it was over. I mean, talk about game opponent. That dude has, you know, the heart in some of these fighters is just amazing. And then second round, dude, all it takes is one shot. And now he's the champion. And
that was the shot, and correct me if I'm wrong, I might have had a couple libations, a couple drinks while I was watching the show. But isn't that crazy knockout where he punched him and he like stood there and then stumbled back? What one was that? That was UFC, right?
No,
that was the earlier one, sorry.
Yeah, I believe that there was the Barboza fight.
That
where
was
it was like
sick.
A flash, like he got rocked and then the knockout just came in afterwards. But it was like a shell shock, if you will, where there's an explosion and then you feel the aftershock. Shell shock. Yeah,
you know, the thing is, I really think I enjoyed that UFC, the whole card. It didn't matter. There was action on it, and it was great. But I'm still going to say, and I'm not shilling for BKFC, it's nothing like a BKFC event. And I'm not saying that because I work here, because I'm telling you, before I started working here, that's what brought me here. I'm like, this is the most exciting stuff I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. So it's great. As fight fans, everybody wins.
There's so much good stuff out there. I agree. I mean, anything more you want to say on the Chandler fight? I was just blown away. I know Chael Sonnen had Chandler as well. I mean, I think a lot of us did.
Yeah, I mean, he looked great.
How much money did you lose, Rob?
I lost money, dude, but it wasn't in that. I lost money at the casino, dude.
Did you?
Yeah, don't double down after you had a couple of shots of Jameson, man. Bad story when you're not supposed to double down. But we'll get to that, man. I gotta. Terrible, man.
Poor Rob.
I'm gonna eat ramen noodle now for the next 2 months.
Still
to cover
suffering
that
a
loss.
hangover. Still at it.
I hope I'm not the only one out there.
Let's talk also. There's so much stuff going on to cover. We're trying to get through it all as we have Luis Palomino coming on later today. That's going to be exciting. Around 12:30, she's going to be on, and we'll talk to him about his big fight against Tyler Goodjohn coming up. There's so much bad blood there.
The champ, the undefeated champ.
That's incredible. But then, look, I can't go down this road. I'll get completely sidetracked. But if you look at Tyler Goodjohn, are people selling him short? Some are, some aren't. We'll get into that in a little bit later with Luis Palomino. We're going to ask him any questions. If you have a couple questions in the chat, you can always let us know as well. We'd like to hear that from you. But I want to get to another hot topic now, and this involves BKFC in a way, and we'll get to that point in a moment, but it involves the Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight. Now, it looks like that fight's been scrapped. What's going on with that? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so arbitration ruled in the favor of his opponent. He just had a 3.
Anthony Joshua. Or Wilder, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. How I forgot Wilder is amazing. That guy is brutal, dude. I think like 40 knockouts out of 44 fights.
That's crazy.
Great fighter. But arbitration decided that he cannot move on to a next fight until he faces him. So Fury, and then the drama starts where Fury said that he's asking for $20 million to step aside so he can fight Joshua. So
$20 million to have that kind of
just
bargaining
to step
chip
aside.
in your pocket.
But they're going back and forth, and Wilder saying, "I don't want 20, I want the fight." So where it's at right now, it's all over the place. Joshua and Fury are trading blows online, and then comes the bare knuckle challenge.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Did you see this, the bare knuckle challenge? And then, I mean, talk about the bare knuckle challenge. I mean, is this actually going to happen? It sounds like they would do it anywhere, anytime, but. Then who do we see down there after we read this? We see these photos coming out.
Yeah.
This anywhere, anytime bare knuckle challenge we're talking about. And we see president, founder David Feldman hanging out with Tyson Fury. Isn't that funny how that works?
That's very, very coincidental.
Look, there's the
very
photo
coincidental that they're together. And then a $20 million bare knuckle fight challenge comes about.
Yeah, and Tyson Fury has so much talent. He's highly sought after in the boxing world. And, I mean, he's even done some – you're wearing your Hulkamania shirt. He's done some pro wrestling with WWE. He's done some stuff with them. He's moved the needle for them. He's definitely a needle mover, and I would love – I mean, the size of that man and what he's done. what he's done from being so overweight to get in such shape again and battling all his demons. And now if he could come to BKFC to watch that fight, I'd watch.
I would.
Dude, I'd watch.
Yeah, absolutely,
Get the
man.
popcorn.
He's the Gypsy King. He even states that his family's, comes from, the Travelers, bare knuckle boxers. This is in his blood, man. We have to get that fight.
I agree. I feel like he almost has to do it, just at least once, right?
Yeah.
Am I nuts?
Yeah, it's for the fans. So,
this could happen.
Let's tear up Tyson Fury's social media accounts, message him, DM him. We want to see him in BKFC. Help us out. So the more support behind it we can get, I'd love to see him. That'd be awesome.
It's going to be amazing with him. So make sure you get out there. That's your assignment. Go out there, tweet him, do whatever you do on social media. Say, get over to BKFC. He knows, obviously, who we are because he was meeting with David. I haven't spoken to David about that meeting. I haven't even seen him. Have you?
No, I have not.
Come, Rob, sometimes you say stuff and I feel like you're guarded. Have you spoken to him?
No, I haven't.
I haven't even seen him. Is he back yet?
He was down in Florida doing a bunch of different things on tours and looking at venues.
And then all of a sudden, here's Tyson.
I know.
Wow.
What's up with that?
I don't know. Let us know. Is he going to fight in BKFC? What do you think? Drop it in the comment section. We'd love to hear more about that. Obviously, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, they've been going back and forth on Twitter.
I want to see that fight. I want to see the Joshua. I want to see the Wilder rematch. I mean, he's just a great ambassador for the sport from basically being face down in the gutter, going through his personal demons to bring himself out of that to now become champion. How do you dislike that, man? That's everything that's just encompasses an athlete, a great person.
I don't think it's dislikable at all. I agree with you, and I just love the fact that the heat is real. Some of the stuff's manufactured between these guys. Again, we just had it on screen. You can see they were going back and forth on Twitter, so it wasn't just in person or via any other way. But they're doing it publicly. They're letting people hear what's going on. So that's fun to watch, quite honestly. I don't know if the fight purists love it, but I love it.
Yeah, I want to see him fight. All three of them, they're great boxers. It's great for the sport. Again, we're combat sporting fans. BKFC #1 all day, every day. But when it comes down to it, watching great fights, action.
What's that? The fight circus thing? They could have all three of them fight at once. I mean, it's fast chaos. It'd be insane. All right, so let's talk about BKFC news. Oh, no, we have one more Jake Paul thing to get to, too. I think you wanted to talk about, right?
Let me check my notes, man.
No, it's not in the notes. You threw it in right before we came on.
It's not. Ooh, where is it? It's not here. So Jake Paul, sounds from what we read from a reporter from ESPN, Jake Paul has jumped the Triller, Triller wagon, the Triller boat.
Train.
And he's now on to Showtime. Showtime Boxing, apparently, has picked him up.
Wow.
So that's very interesting.
So you're telling me that means obviously that his fights will not be on Triller anymore, right? So he's off the Triller train.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
How they let him go if they're making so much
money?
money?
Some things going on with them. Triller. They put on some great events. Who knows what their future is? Maybe they're moving on to different forms of boxing and combat sports. But
is there a number
very
out there?
Interesting.
Is there a number out there that Showtime offered him to come on? Did we find that out?
I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think? I'd love to know that number. I mean, it's got to be high, right?
He's top 5 YouTuber. Which might not sound like a lot. I mean, but it's what 50 million combined subscribers. Him and his brother. They're their own network at this point. But
you just kind of hire him, plug and play kind of thing. So I'd love to see. We'll examine that. If you know what Showtime gave him, if you can find that out or you can speculate, we'd love to hear that in the comments as always. I have a Tiger Life burp coming. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
We talk Tiger Life's the best, but it gets my gases out and it makes me energetic. Tiger Life. I love it. That's my why in life. Let's talk BKFC news. That's why we're here. BKFC show. So much stuff happening in BKFC as always. I mean, the wheels keep on turning even when we're not on the air. So always pay attention to BKFC.com and, of course, the socials, a lot of stuff up there. The first thing I want to talk about is, and this was huge. I saw this, and I think I texted you about this. Lorenzo Hunt decided after
Juggernaut.
The Juggernaut.
Man.
Juggernaut. Before he did this, by the way, he was just fighting with himself at first. Luis was getting involved, but he was on Instagram. He calling out Luis Palomino. I think he had a picture, maybe we can throw up there, where he was took a picture with a chicken or something. Did you see that on Instagram?
Did he call out Luis Palomino or did he call out Hector Lombard?
Hector Lombard. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Yep.
Luis Palomino's coming up. My Tiger Life cross.
Sure.
The chicken thing is on screen now. You can check it out. He was doing stuff like this over and over again on Instagram towards Hector. And Hector's not a guy you want to mess with unless you're confident you're going to beat him, because Hector's a bad dude. But Lorenzo Hunt, bad dude as well, very skilled at what he does.
Bad dude. It's one thing to talk trash online. It's one thing to, keep those Twitter fingers nice and strong. And then it's another thing to show up to a man's house, to show up to his gym and to challenge him. Now,
in front of his peers.
Yeah, that's, dude, you know, way back when, them's fighting words, man. You show up to somebody's dojo, you show up to somebody's school, you show up to anywhere, it's a fight, man. That's it. You show up, you're here, we're fighting. There's no talk. So that's...
Well, especially now. I mean, look, fighting alpha male game. We all know that, and they're not going to be disrespected. We have some video we're going to get to in a second because they actually filmed it on like a phone. I don't know if Hector knew he was being filmed or what, but again, I've been to the gym where he showed up. It's not a huge gym. If something was to pop off, it's gonna pop off, and it's a beautiful gym. But
it is
for him just to walk in. Think about that. He just shows up. Unidentified. I think he ran into David Diaz first, and he was all, hey, perro. He was all excited to see him.
Yeah, we gotta check that.
We have the video out. Do you want to watch the video?
Yeah, let's walk the
up.
fans through it too.
Well,
Who here? Nobody here. Hector ain't here.
Hector right there, had everything. Shooting back to thinking y'all that.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Oh, he saw me. He didn't say nothing. Huh? I'm gonna go wrestle him down to the ground.
Do it. 2 balls. There's been 2
I'm
balls.
gonna wrestle him down to the ground. Hector,
What's up, man?
I'm come to wrestle you.
I'm the referee.
Boy.
I can't wrestle between these two.
I see you. I come to Miami for BYB. Okay. I come down, check you out, see what's up. How you doing, man? I tell you, I'm bigger than you, man. Hey, listen, man. You know how many fights I have, right? I know how many fights you have. I know what you do.
In the ring right now.
I know what you do. You'll get it. We'll get it. We gotta get it. Gym. We gonna get it. For sure. For sure. But listen, bring you some up. We're gonna be the champ though right now. Now you gotta beat up Joe Riggs. Yeah. That gave you the title shot. It's mine, man. It's for me. It's for me. You don't want me. You know that. What you gonna do after? Listen. You know I ain't scared no man. You know that. Hector. You know that. You know I'm scared no man. Listen, you scared. You know I'm scared no man. Listen, young man, game time. You leaving after. You beat Joe Riggs, you done? I might. I know. I might. You gonna take the title? I might.
Now, it was hard to hear there, Rob, but I think there was things being said, like, I believe Hector said something like, do you know who I am? Like, do you know the fights I have? And Lorenzo was semi-respectful. Yes, I know you are, but do you know who I am in bare knuckle? I mean, Lorenzo, I think he said it on it. What's Lorenzo in bare knuckle? It was like, is he total, was it 6-1, I think? I have it on my, 6-1, the Juggernaut. So he's got an impressive bare knuckle record, and the Juggernaut, very, very impressive just as a fighter. I mean, this guy is an athletic freak, the best pure athlete, I call him, in Bkfc. I always say that. But then you have Hector, who's a bad dude. One of the biggest UFC contracts, if not the biggest of all time. The guy's a killer. We saw him against Kendall Grove when he came to BKFC. And
made short work of him.
Yeah, people were calling him, I believe Chris Lato called him, that's the old Hector Lombard. That's the one we know. He would instill fear in people when he walked in the locker room, but you're not seeing that fear out of Lorenzo Hunt. Now, is that arrogance? Is that cockiness? Or is he convinced that he's going to beat him? Like, what do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the video, it seems very jovial. But that handshake...
It's not really. But it's not.
No, that handshake was like, hey man, like, you know, I get it. You're trying to sell the fight. You want to fight, but you shouldn't be doing this. So I'd love to get, you know, Lorenzo Hunt on again to get his take on it. You know, where his head's at and Hector's response, man, because again, he's going down a road that, you know, talk shit.
It could be
you know
rocky.
what I mean? Yeah.
To me, that was like what I call
be a fight.
The lighting of the fuse. Like, he lit the fuse because he wants to sell the fight. But when you cross that bridge from wanting to sell the fight to, I don't want to say becoming personal, but becoming more and more personal, or it's almost like a gnat. You get tired of, you're like, all right, dude, you're selling the fight. Yep. But then it gets personal. And I like when they light the fuse because it'll explode at some point, maybe before or during the fight. I'm excited for that fight.
Well, Lorenzo's saying that he's ducking him. He's saying that, you know, he said if you win your fight and, you know, Hector's fighting Joe Riggs at BKFC 18, he said, you're going to retire after that, aren't you? And he said, I might. We'll see.
He didn't give an answer. See that? He didn't give an answer.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's...
Can you imagine if Hector retires and Lorenzo doesn't get that fight? Lorenzo's mouth will be running, and Hector will end up coming back. Hector will have to try and shut it. You know that's what's going to happen. I mean, I wouldn't even care if that happened. I wish I could write the storyline. I want to see that fight.
Yeah, I mean, those three, that's you know, Joe Riggs, Hector Lombard, Lorenzo, that's Those three very vicious, very murderous individuals right there.
Of course, Joe Riggs coming up against Hector Lombard.
He's undefeated. Hector's undefeated.
That's
going to be one to
huge.
watch.
They're all going to be one to watch. It's going to be a great card. But that's in June. We don't have the June date yet, but I was just told my earpiece as we were watching that video that David Feldman has arrived from his meetings. He's here. So
flew in his private jet.
I guess so. I don't know.
Limousine.
His pink limousine. Mary Kay products. What are you talking about? So he's going to be coming in around 12:50 when he gets in the building.
All right,
He's going to come
cool.
right in.
Awesome.
He's going to be talking about his meeting with Tyson Fury when he talked to him. And also, apparently, he's going to be announcing the official June date. You've been asking for it in the comments. We've seen you. We have the official June date. We'll talk about that at 12:50. Before we get to that, 12:30, a couple minutes away, so we have to get moving here. We have Luis Palomino coming on. Live. And that's going to be awesome. So let's just keep moving here. Let's talk about, speaking of Luis Palomino, Tyler Goodjohn, his opponent coming up in June when we get the date at 12:50. You'll know the date.
Yep.
This guy has a big following online. Over 1 million views now on his documentary Unbroken, which I've seen. A great documentary. If you have time, you should definitely watch it. It explores him as a fighter, a bare knuckle fighter in England. His girlfriend at the time's in it. He's a horrible driver. He smashes a car into a that was what's stood out for me. He smashed a van into the.
It doesn't sound surprising.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not surprised.
I'm not a good driver either. What do you want? But I'm very excited for him. And it follows his journey, and we're continuing to follow his journey from overseas to here to see what's going to happen. And that's why we're so excited to see Luis Palomino come on in a couple minutes to ask him about Tyler, because there's been some bad blood here. We've been talking about this the whole show. So
Tyler has been calling him out
forever,
every step of the way. Even when he landed it, before his first fight, he just wanted the champ.
Who didn't somebody who was it? Somebody who picked him up from the airport told me that as soon as he got in the car, he's like, "Where's this Luis Palomino mate or geese or whatever he called it?" Like all these the words I don't know that are cool from England. He was saying like he's looking for him right away.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk to Luis about all that in a couple minutes, but. We're excited. We're excited for his documentary. Congratulations to you, Tyler Goodjohn. And if you have time, watch that documentary. I believe you can find it on YouTube.
Yep.
That's where I found it, at least. And it's called, what's it called?
Unbroken.
I thought so. Okay. Unbroken. So that's something you need to watch. And the interview is going to be awesome in a couple minutes, too. I feel like that's going to be sparks and fireworks flying when he comes on. Speaking of shots being fired, we talked about that. Shots fired between Tom Schoaf, the man with the mustache, Tom Schoaf, and Luis Palomino, the guy who's coming on a lot with Luis Palomino.
Everyone's calling out Luis now.
Yeah, Luis is a marked man. He's got that title. That's why.
Yeah.
So I know that we have some stuff that was going on Instagram between those two. And the thing on Instagram, Luis Palomino is always going to answer you back. So you can read through this stuff up here. It gets pretty heated. I don't think Tom, at least from what he's saying, I don't think he meant to start a fight, really, right?
Yeah, there it is. Someday we can exchange dust instead of social media comments. I mean,
I'm looking forward to that one too.
Oh wow, he went on.
Yeah, this went on for a while, dude.
D-ball cycles and all, man. They're going personal.
This went on for a while.
I ain't touching that one.
No, I'm not either. I mean, that's what I mean. You light the fuse, and then you can follow this stuff on Instagram.
It's just getting personal.
That's one of the things I like about Bkfc. The fighters don't care. They're going to come on Instagram, and they're going to go back and forth. And, like, I don't want to call them storylines because they're not. Drama, that continues. And they write their own dramas, and then we can watch them unfold. They light the fuse.
Yeah.
So that's happening here with Tom Schoaf, too. And I really love the way Tom Schoaf fights. Love the way Palomino fights. Tom Schoaf has this beauty when he fights. You can see it when he's photographed. I was talking to our director of content, Evan, about that. When Phil, our photographer, catches him, almost every shot you see of Tom Schoaf, it's just like a beautiful look. It's a beautiful shot. And he's just fun to watch. But again, Luis is a killer in a different kind of way.
What I like the most about BKFC now is there's so much depth. We can go back and watch Tom Schoaf's fights from the beginning to where he's at now. The same thing with Luis. Tyler Goodjohn, all we have is his one fight. You can check out some of his professional boxing, his overseas bare knuckle fights. But what I love most is seeing the evolution of these fighters. And it's like, wow, where they were at a year ago,
Definitely.
2 years ago to where they're at now. And these fights that they're trying to set up themselves. I mean, it's amazing. It's great.
It's fun to
I
watch
love
that.
where the sport's going. I love the evolution of the sport. I love the evolution of the fighters, man. It's really exciting.
While we have a moment before Luis Palomino comes on, the bare knuckle baboon in just a moment. Let's talk.
Champ.
That's right, champ. The champ. Undefeated champ. Let's talk about evolution. You're talking evolution of BKFC. One of the things I'm seeing that I like is that you see every card evolve, and now that people are getting a hang of things and people are starting to really understand the sport a little more, you're seeing different styles kind of evolve, different things. And that's the cool part of watching it grow, I think, that you can see it develop outside of just the drama, which I love the drama.
Yep.
You're seeing different fighting styles. You're seeing people from around the world coming in, not just here anymore. So I'm excited to see a lot more of that. And I'm excited to have Luis Palomino on momentarily as we talk to him about his big fight coming up in June. Don't forget Luis on now, but 12:50 if you're just tuning in. We have David Feldman, who just flew in from Florida. Looked like he had a meeting with Tyson Fury, which is huge because Tyson Fury is talking about doing bare knuckle or something. I don't know anything about it. We're going to find about that. And then also he's going to announce officially the June date where we're going to see this stacked card.
One of the most anticipated cards.
It might be
ever.
the most. It might be the most at this point. I mean, it's
How many belts are on the line? How many undefeated fighters?
There's so
This
many.
is going to be a great fight.
and
Great card.
and there's drama that we're not even having to create. It's just there. You want to see Yuli versus Thiago just because the respectful challenge. And I think that'll be the one to watch. You know, you got the king of the knockout there, the quickest knockout versus Thiago, who went against Julian Lane in his first fight, his debut, and went the distance. And some people question if he really won that fight. So it'll be interesting because I know Thiago's licking his chops to get back in the ring.
Is.
And Yuli's licking his chops to get in there with Thiago. So we're going to see what happens there in June. We'll have the official date coming up for you. Also, Sam Shoemaker. There's so much stuff going on. Sam Shoemaker, Joey Beltran. We can't not sell that fight. I mean, that's for the world title. The world title,
But
man.
before we do that, we
What?
got a commercial. We got to showcase.
What? Talk about Sam? I can't tell you you're taking me to commercial. I want to talk
Sorry,
about Sam.
man.
Oh, man.
We got to roll this commercial, and we'll be back.
The producers have your ear set, too? I thought it was only me. Oh, geez.
Tiger
All right, go to
life
commercial.
is not about race or religion, black or white, young or old, male or female. It's not about where you live or where you're from. It's about finding your why in life. Tiger life is a way of life. It's a purpose, a light, the future. We all have a story to tell, so let's tell it. It's time to be heard. Just remember, we may not be able to rewrite our story, but we sure as hell can change the ending. Tiger life. Energy never tasted so good. Tiger life is not about race or religion, black or white, young or old, male or female. It's not about where you live or where you're from. It's about finding your why in life. Tiger life is a way of life. It's a purpose, a light, the future. We all have a story to tell, so let's tell it. It's time to be heard. Just remember, we may not be able to rewrite our story, but we sure as hell can change the ending. Tiger life. Energy never tasted so good. Tiger life is not about race or religion, black or white, young or old, male or female. It's not about where you live or where you're from. It's about finding your why in life. Tiger life is a way of life. It's a purpose, a light, the future. We all have a story to tell, so let's tell it. It's time to be heard. Just remember, we may not be able to rewrite our story, but we sure as hell can change the ending. Tiger life. Energy never tasted so good.
I don't even know what happened there, Rob. I'm unsure. Rob calls for a commercial break. I'm in the middle talking to Sam Shoemaker versus Joey Beltran for the world title. We're very excited about that. We'll get to that again later, and we're going to be talking about that a lot leading up to the show. But we promised 12:30, and right on time, well, it's really BKFC standard time, 12:33, we have Luis Palomino, man. Champ, what's going on? How are you?
What's good, guys?
Look at
My
this
abs
guy.
doing okay right there?
Look at this guy. He's showing his. Hey, if I had abs like that, I wouldn't even own a shirt.
My curls okay? I wanna make sure the curls are
Your
okay.
hair looks good, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good because I feel like there's a fight coming soon, finally, you know?
Yeah, there is,
So now
man.
I'm feeling,
There is. You're taking a break from training, it looks like, huh?
I just
He's freezing up. I'm losing him. I mean, look, as much as I love looking at his abs frozen like that, I mean, he does have chiseled abs. We may have lost him, but there's so many questions I want to get in as they're trying to figure out in the truck what's going on here, so people can have a preview of what we're going to ask him. I normally don't always do this, but there's so much. Drop questions in the comment, in the chat too. Comment, let us know if you have questions for him. But there's so much to get to with him. You know, of course, Tyler jumped in on him at BKFC 14. I was in the middle of that skirmish. Didn't love that.
Yeah,
I mean,
thought there was going to be a riot. In the
well,
stands,
that
man.
not only that, I have views on that too, because like afterwards, I care a lot about these fighters. They work very hard, and I kind of felt bad for Luis because even on the
It's
plane ride
justified.
home,
I'd be pissed off too,
dude,
man.
that guy worked so hard. It was such a big fight that he sold. Now this other idiot, I don't mean to call you an idiot, Tyler. Don't beat me up, but that's
Oh, I'm going to hold him to that
well,
one.
no, I mean
you heard it here, folks.
my
Brian.
broadcast journalism. I took an oath. I took it on
All right,
broadcast.
we have
and the
Luis
truth
back.
comes out.
Well, I got shoved.
Got him. You put him on blast, Luis. We heard it here, man. Somebody clip that.
No, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm a broadcast journalist.
Look, as much as you want to share, the truth will always come out.
Yeah, the truth
Like,
will.
I need. What do you want me to do?
I'm trying to be professional here, but yeah, I just thought that the way he jumped in the ring, let's just talk about that. Let's start with that. Why not? The way he jumped in the ring at BKFC 14 into the squared circle, I know he was invited by the organization to kind of sample what the company looks like, which is cool. That's fine. But I'm in there with you doing a post-fight interview, and it's an honor to be in there, finding out about what you went through. And you were very intense because I interviewed you before the fight, too, and you just wanted to fight. You were a man possessed with beating Jim Ellis, and you did it quickly. But when Tyler Goodjohn jumped in the squared circle, I was in the middle of all that. I want you to speak on that a little bit. What were your emotions like? You didn't want to talk about it at the time, but it had to piss you off a little bit, and rightfully so.
A little bit. I was trying to contain myself and not let the hood come out at me and go blasting at this guy, dropping my belts on the floor that I just earned and worked so hard for. You know what I mean? So I contain myself for the fact that I'm in front of my family. My mom is present, you know. My family's there. My fans are there. It's my city. I have these 2 world titles on my shoulder and my waist, and I don't want to drop them. And I work so hard for that, you know, just because of this idiot trying to steal my moment. You know, so yeah, of course it pissed me off. He's going to pay for it too. He's going to pay for it 100%.
I'm sure he will pay for it. As far as stealing your moment, I mean, like I said, I was in the middle of that, and I was newer with the organization at the time. I didn't fully know how to handle it. I apologize. I wish I could have helped you more. I took a little shove out of the way too. But it's exciting to see this fight finally happen, because at first I thought you're like, I'm not going to mess with Tyler Goodjohn. I don't want this guy. I'm going to smoke him. It's going to be easy. It's going to be quick. But it seems like the organization wanted you to fight him, and it seems like you're kind of licking your chops now. Is it akin to shutting a bully up, kind of?
Look, man, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm a company man, okay? I'm here to take BKFC the furthest that I can take it from my behalf. So whatever I can do to take it to mainstream, take it to a broader audience, you know, to put more respect and more attention to our organization, I'm that man, you know? So if Dave says, hey, you're fighting your older brother next month, then that's who I'm fighting. You know, I'm not going to argue about who I'm fighting, okay? But you know, I am going to call out facts, because I walked and I speak on truth. So I never trip. I don't trip. I keep walking straight and I never fall, because I speak and I walk on the truth. The truth of the matter is, this dude is a nobody, okay? I think he had like four good wins over there. I don't know who he fought with. He had an okay boxing record, okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm judging him based on his debut against Charles Bennett, who I ran over in 4 minutes 8 years ago, I think 9 years ago, when he was relevant. So, you know, he performs the way that he performed. I'm looking for a big money fight. I'm looking for a big name, you know, and to have only this guy. And first I was like, man, who the fuck is this guy, blah, blah, blah. But in the end of the day, like I told you, I'm going to fight who you tell me to fight, you know? We just had a little issue with, you know, like my multi-fight deal that we're now finalizing, which I'm very happy about. Good. You know, and making sure that I stay active. That was it. I just want to stay active. And if, you know, fighting Tyler keeps me active, then that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. You know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to handle my business.
I think the fans want to see you stay active as well. I know they do. I know I want to see you stay active. The switch, I always talk about the switch that flips. You're a businessman. You're well-dressed. You're very polite, you know, when we're doing business with you. But what flips that switch for Luis Palomino to get in the ring? Because you seriously, like, we're cool, but you scared me when I did a pre-fight with you last time. You made me nervous.
Man, I think that all of us, and I don't just speak for myself, I speak for like all fighters, whether it's MMA, boxing, bare knuckle, you know, most of us, I'm not gonna say all of us, there's a lot of fake fighters out there. Most of us have that like split personality. Yeah. You know, and I believe I possess a very strong split personality where there's an animal inside of me that must be fed. You know, like what, you know, in competition, in a fight, you know, in the most brutal form, there's an animal inside me that needs to be fed. And that's what keeps me, you know, walking like a controlled human being in the streets when I'm not fighting, you know, is that I have that animality, you know, at bay, you know, I fed it, you know, and that's what happens for me. It's like, there's a switch there that I have no control of, that people around me, my friends, I have a couple of clients there that I do personal training with, you know, just a select a few, and they even see the switch in my head. Like, they see that, oh, you're different. That's it. You didn't change. And my family sees it. My girlfriend sees it. You know, my friends see it. And it just happens. Like, it happens to switch within 2 to 3 weeks of a fight. Like, it just flicks, you know? And you know, I can be a little more short-tempered those times. I be careful with myself. But, it's an animal instinct, man. You know, the ape comes out.
Well, I'll tell you, if your family can see it a couple weeks in advance, I had the honor of interviewing you probably an hour before your fight, and here's what you said to me. I asked you a question, you just looked at me, and you went, "I'm ready to fight," and I was like, "Okay, go fight, please. Don't beat me up." And I'm anxious to see if going into the Tyler Goodjohn fight here coming up in June in Miami, the switch. I mean, it's always going to flip. You talk about being fed, but I mean, it's dangerous to think this way, but. Honestly, do you, in your mind, see Tyler Goodjohn as an easy fight? That's what it seems like to me.
Look, the better question is, do I respect this guy? I have no respect for him.
Okay.
I have absolutely no respect for him. I think he's a clown. I think he's a clout chaser. I think he's a complete idiot, to be very honest with you. Okay, that's just my personal opinion of him.
Fine.
Okay. But saying that he's an easy fight, look, when you reach my age, I'm 40 years old, man, and you've been fighting for what, 14, 15 years of your life. You come to terms and you learn that there is no such thing as an easy fight. You know, even a wounded dog, you corner him, that dog's gonna bite you. You know, and I breed bullies. I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying is, you know, I don't consider anybody an easy fight. As a matter of fact, I train harder and harder every time I get my next fight because the competition is supposed to improve against me. I'm the champion now. Mm-hmm. There's a wanted poster out there for my head. People want my title. People want what I have, you know? So I have to train harder. I train for improvement. I train to improve myself. And I improve every single day. And when I'm like about 6 weeks, 8 weeks off of a fight, I'm training for destruction. And this dude is going to get all of it. All of it. I'm not training for him that he's an easy fight. I don't see no fight being easy. This is bare knuckle, man.
Yeah.
You know, in bare knuckle world, I don't believe that you have to be the better person to win a fight. You can cut somebody bad enough with a bad shot, not be better than the person, and end up getting a stoppage and winning a fight. And you weren't even better. You know, shit happens. This is the fight game. So do I think he's an easy fight? No. Am I fighting like it's the hardest fight of my life? If I'm training like it? Yes. So that means he's in fucking trouble, man. Because I really want to hurt this guy, you know?
Understood. So he may be in trouble. You're talking about training, and the thing I've seen you do on social media, Luis, is call him out for his training, the type of training he's doing. You don't agree with that kind of training for a fight. Can you talk on that a little bit?
This dude's training for the wrong sport, man. I mean, bro, have you seen this guy's videos?
Yeah, he's doing like CrossFit, I think, or something, right?
Jesus Christ, man. This guy's doing all this crazy shit, like weird things with dumbbells over his face. He dropped a dumbbell over his forehead. I'm like, oh my God, I hope he didn't cut himself. I'm over here worried about my opponent, that he doesn't hurt himself and make it to the fight. He's over here carrying what? He said it was 300 pounds. Like, who the fuck are you carrying? Your dead body? You know, like, this shit doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Hey, whatever, man. Whatever suits you, whatever has worked for you in the past, you know, maybe it worked for you and you think it's going to work, whatever, man. But I think that my training is on another level. I have the team that is like a dream team that I've never had before. And this is the reason why I'm undefeated right now. This is the reason why I will retire undefeated, because I have the perfect team. I have the perfect team behind me, and I have the perfect mindset. You know, I have a girlfriend that gives me peace at home. I have my son doing great in his life. So everything is just aligned perfectly. Right now, I cannot be beaten. Like, you would have to knock me out, wake me up, and tell me that I've been beaten before I can believe it.
And you still might not believe it at that
point. I cannot
point.
be beaten right now. And he does.
Well, and Luis, you had mentioned you're at a great spot mentally. You saw something in your last fight versus Jim Allers. Jim Allers looked unstoppable. I mean, he was knocking everybody out. Yeah. But you said that you saw something, like you already had the solution before the fight started. What happened? What did you see that made it stand out? And what do you see in Tyler Goodjohn, that you don't see an issue with him? He doesn't seem like he's on your level.
Well, look, with Jim, the way that I saw Jim was, like you said, running over the division, just running. And it was like an animal instinct that awoke from him it was dormant. It was dormant in his UFC fighting career. It was dormant. And Bare Knuckle brought it out of him because Bare Knuckle told him, you know what, there's no takedowns here. You're going to have to let those hands go. And he ended up discovering the beast inside of him. And he started running over people with that beast mentality in that game. Only thing is that Bare Knuckle, all the young bloods out there, there's a lot of people out there, that talk all this crap. Oh, this is a young man's sport, blah, blah, blah. Look, man, I don't believe so. Look, this type of sport, bare knuckle, it's a combination of experience with brutality. And you have to have a good balance of both. You can't just come into this game like a beast and think that you're going to win every fight the same. This is Jim Adams. Mm-hmm. You can't come in here like a boxer and think that you're going to win every fight the same way. It's not going to happen. This is 2-minute rounds. There's no gloves. You can grab the head with one hand, keep punching. Like you can dirty box the shit out of somebody, you know? It's too much of a street game mixed with the profession of a boxer. But you have to have both. You have to have a balance of both. Jim had one. Tyler has the other. Neither one of them possess the both. This is why I see all the holes in both of them. I will beat each and one of them every night.
And Luis, you brought it up, so I'm just going to mention it right now. You're 40. Tyler Goodjohn just turned 30. There is a 10-year difference. Do you think that plays a part, or do you foresee this playing a part in your strategy with this fight?
I think for most fighters, it probably will, you know. But this is the thing. Look, like for example, I'm not even going to mention the name of the old gym I used to be with, right? And I had my old trainers always putting this thing in my head, like, oh, you know, you're old, you know, time is running out, and they put these things in your head, right? And this is what happens when you listen to people's opinions, okay? People put in, you know, limits that they see in themselves on you, and you cannot listen to that because everybody's different. Everybody ages differently. You know what I mean? Like I take care of my body, you know, like this woman right here driving, she, this shit, like you wouldn't believe. Like I eat gourmet every single day. You know what I mean? Like, and even before I met her, I always took care of my body. My mom always said, you are what you eat. Okay. And that's what I was telling you about my clients that I help lose weight and live a better life is because I know how to treat my body. I take care of my body. I work out. I do not stop working out. I do my maintenance training with weightlifting, and I eat properly, man. I stay on my supplements, you know? So I'm aging differently. I feel better today than I did in my 30s, man. So do I feel like there's a change? No, at all. Zero. Zero. And I mean, look at my performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one can argue your performance by any stretch. One of the topics that we also discussed prior to, you know, getting you on the call was the amount of damage that Tony Ferguson has took. You know, it's now with bare knuckle, it's a different sport. You know, the damage is different. You know, you don't have to worry about your knees getting popped or broken limbs or anything like that. How long do you think you can fight in bare knuckle?
It's a good question, man. It's a good question. Look, touching that base, what you're saying, like Tony Ferguson, for example, in MMA, in my last 3 to 4 years of MMA fights, I was fighting against the best in Russia. I was fighting the Russians in Russia, and I was fighting them. I've had 2 torn ligaments in the same knee for almost 5 years now. Okay, and like I couldn't wrestle, I couldn't grapple, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. Like there was so many limitations, so much pain, so much. You know, it was so much stress. Bare knuckle comes around. I can wear my shoes. I'm not slipping and sliding around the place. You know, I don't have to take nobody down. I don't have to kick anymore. Man, now bare knuckle has gave me what? I would say the way that I feel right now, because I want to retire undefeated, I would say 2 more years on top. And if I make those 2 years undefeated, how I plan to do it, then I will do a 3rd year and I'll call it quits.
Well, so, Luis, I'm not going to hold you to that because Tom Brady also said he wanted to retire, and that guy is throwing touchdowns and he's going to go down one of the best athletes of all time. So you may have another 5, 10, 15 years left in you, depending on, you know.
Bare knuckle happens to kind of prove that because, you know, we're doing 2-minute rounds, 5 2-minute rounds. In boxing, you're doing 10, 12 rounds, 3 minutes each. In MMA, you're doing 5 5-minute rounds, 3 rounds of 5 minutes. It's a lot. And then the training is a lot of wear and tear. So for bare knuckle training, man, you know, it's fun for me. Like I used to train 6-7 hours a day. Now I train 3, maybe a 4th hour in a day, Monday to Friday. And on Saturdays I only train 2 hours. Sundays I rest. You know? Yeah, so like this. You're pretty damn right, man. Who knows? Maybe another 4 or 5 years. Who knows? But I like being realistic. You know, I like being very realistic with myself and my fans and my people and my trainers. Being very realistic, I would say undefeated 2 more years from now at 42. If at 42 I'm still undefeated, I will do a third year at 43. And after 43 completes, and I feel like I'm still good, I might do a couple more fights. You never know, man. You never know.
Luis, you just seem so comfortable in there, and I could watch you fight for the next 45 years, although I know you probably like to enjoy your retirement, and you may be undefeated if that happens. We'll see. The last thing before we let you go, we're very excited. You saw on the bottom of the screen, BKFC coming in June to Miami. We'll have the actual date coming in minutes when David Feldman comes on.
All right.
But I love to hear your smack talk because you're not afraid and you're very confident, and that's a great thing. So before we let you go, I like to do this sometimes. Tyler's probably watching this, or he's going to see it, Tyler Goodjohn. So just tell us, act like you're speaking not to us, but to Tyler. What do you have to say to him?
Tyler, stop acting like your hair is so nice. The more luxurious hair is in this side in Miami. I'm the real king of Miami. Stop talking all this bullshit about you coming over here to take over and I don't know what. You just feeding your ego, trying to build your own mind, trying to build your own confidence. You know you're coming over here for a loss, buddy. You know you're coming over here for a loss. What I'm going to try to do, Tyler, is I'm going to try to make you last a little longer before I break your jaw. Because I'm aiming not to knock you out. I'm aiming to break your fucking jaw. That's going to break. I'm going to connect, and it's going to break. And that's going to teach you a lesson when you leave Miami to shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Well, I got to tell you, Luis, it's fun to watch what you say on Instagram, but it's so much better to actually look at a camera and hear you say it. That was amazing. So we're even looking more forward to that fight.
Yeah,
if
man.
that's even, I don't know if we could be. In June, again, David Feldman going to give us the official date. Momentarily, we'll talk to him. But right now, Luis Palomino, I call you the bare knuckle baboon. We love you. We love having you on. It was a pleasure speaking to you. We wish you luck against Tyler Goodjohn. It's going to be a fight we're all looking forward to.
Thanks, champ.
Thank you guys. Hey, thank you for having me. Missing all you guys, man. Missing all you guys. Been too long.
Miss
You
you
got to do
too,
it more
champ.
often.
See you soon, man.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there goes Luis Palomino, who's fired up. We knew he was,
there
but
it
now
is,
I realize he's really fired up.
Yeah.
I love seeing that out of a fighter. You can see it in his eyes. He's ready.
I hate to be Tyler Goodjohn at
He's
this
going to break
moment,
his
man.
jaw so he can't talk any more shit, he said.
No, just having that in the mindset
Oh my
of
God.
someone's strategy isn't coming in to win the fight, which he is. His strategy is to obviously win the bout and
Always.
continue being undefeated. But to actually look to damage, to personally damage somebody is that's scary. That's scary, man.
I think so, too. I mean, that shows you how driven he is. We're going to have David Feldman, who apparently, I think,
President.
getting ready. He just flew in from Florida. He talked to Tyson Fury. We're going to find out what went on with that conversation. And then we're also going to find out, like we said, the official date everyone's been asking. I'm excited to find out.
But before that,
What?
we're going to commercial.
Wait, can I finish my topic?
I'm getting good at this,
I know
man.
you stepped on me, though, so you're not... Hang tight before we have a wrestling match in here with your Hulkamania shirt on.
You're 1-0. I'm not taking another L.
What I'm saying is, you threw me all off here. He's going to talk about Tyson Fury. He's also going to tell us the date that everyone's been asking for June.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shut up.
wait.
You can pose like a Hulkamaniac and rip your shirt off, and we're going to... You send it to commercial. You want to do it? Send it to commercial.
Go to commercial.
Welcome to the world of Bare Knuckle TV. Watch every live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $3.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including unlimited access to the full archive of BKFC pay-per-views, behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live Bare Knuckle fights from around the globe. You can access it anywhere you want, anytime you want, instantly on most streaming devices. It's available right now on the Bare Knuckle TV app. Over 1,000 hours of on-demand content, uncut and uncensored. All here, anytime you want, anywhere you want, for only $3.99 a month. Subscribe now exclusively at BKTVApp.com.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. And I'm Kayla. And you're watching the BKFC show with the two hottest guys in the world. All right, can I get paid now?
We'll get there. We can use that for a standalone at some point.
I only wanted to get to say that is because...
Oh, we're back. Look at that. We're having private conversation here. You see, you just got to... We peeled the curtain back. See, Rob sends us to
we
commercial.
really back?
Yeah, we're back. Rob sends us
Guys
to
do this to
commercial.
me all the
Doesn't
time,
know what
man.
he's doing. And then he doesn't even know when we're coming back. Rob, were
deer in
you
the
drunk
headlights
again
like an
today?
idiot.
Let's continue the conversation. So you guys were talking about Palomino, and I told you to ask him about the Masvidal fight because he fought Masvidal. The only reason why I did that because I was in Miami yesterday, and I was at the studio of the guy that actually promoted the fight. Hector Lombard was the main event. It was a fight at the American Airlines Arena. I don't know the name of the promotion. I forget the name of the promotion, but that's the same fight that Palomino fought Jorge Masvidal on, and he beat Masvidal, but it looked like two young kids. It was so funny. I'm like, who's that? He's like, that's Masvidal. I'm like, who's that? He's like, it's Palomino.
I didn't want to ask the question because I wanted to hear it from you because I knew you were down there and you got the full scoop. So that's
Well,
Yeah, man,
I didn't even know
crazy.
he was here. I didn't even know you were here till a minute ago. And then when we get stuff like that in our ear from the producers, I'm like, is this Dave or somebody setting me up to ask a question? This guy's going to beat me up. You guys like to see me get thrown around by these fighters. I don't understand it.
well, the hot topic right now. I think everybody's talking about
a lot.
you
know,
and Tyson.
Dave.
So all right. Tyson Fury is going back and forth with Anthony Joshua online, and they're firing shots. Joshua's claiming that it's all for clout. They never really had a fight scheduled. He's just using it to build his fight with Wilder, And then all of a sudden, he's firing back, and being Tyson's firing back, and then he says, 20 million bare knuckle fight this weekend. And then a photo of you and him pops up. What is going on,
I
man?
fell in my chair when I
What
saw
is
this.
happening?
I didn't even know about that.
It was so funny. We were down there at this gym. It's called Warriors Boxing Gym. That's where Tyson and a bunch of Russian fighters train there. It was so funny. I thought I was looking at a basketball team. There was like all 6'9", 6'10" boxers there.
Really?
I was like, damn, these guys are big. And I ran into him and
There you are shaking hands.
I was able to talk to him for a little bit. I mean, to be honest, when we first went in there, he was like, "What are you guys doing here? Like, what are you guys doing here?" And then I started talking to him, as I think you'll see here. We started talking a little bit about bare knuckle, and he liked everything we're doing, and he threw a tweet out there about fighting Anthony Joshua and bare knuckle. The funny thing is he told me, he said, "I love what you're doing, but you're doing it all wrong."
Really?
I'm like, "Well, you say you love what I'm doing, but I'm doing it all wrong." He said, "No, you're doing it all right, but the real way to do a bare knuckle fight is you fight until someone either gets knocked out or quits." I said, "Yeah." I said, "That actually sounds great, Tyson, but it's not going to be conducive for television right now."
The commission will never go for that.
I'd watch it
He,
back alley.
he was cool, man. He was cool. So
His family has roots, right? In bare knuckle.
yeah.
Yes.
He's a gypsy, and that's where that's really where I got the idea from. Was the traveler fights that they were doing in the fields in England and Scotland and things like that. So he knew about it very well. He was friends with one of our fighters that our cousins with one of our fighters that fought on our first show, Bobby Gunn.
Okay.
And it was great talking to him, and we're going to continue talking, and we're going to see what happens. See if we get him involved with this company in some way, shape, or form.
That's awesome.
Obviously, where he's not going to be fighting for us anytime soon.
Yeah.
He has obligations, and it was crazy because we left there, and I'm just like, that's the heavyweight champ of the world. Like,
cool.
It's not just like another athlete. Like at some time, the heavyweight champ of the world was the most sought after athlete in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
For a
Still
long time.
is.
For a long-
In
I
my
was
opinion,
like,
it still
wow.
is.
It's the
I don't
heavyweight
think there's
champ.
anything tarnished.
And he was cool as could be. He's got like this movie star look. He knows how to talk. But it was funny because someone was filming me and him talking, and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "turn that camera off, or you're going in the ring with me now." And the guy was like,
Yeah, I turned.
He would have been off before he even finished his sentence.
It was great.
So that's huge. You met up with him, and we saw the picture and everything. But there's something else a lot of people have been talking about. I mean, I don't even know yet. We've seen it in the chat last week. The June date's been up in the air. We haven't released a June date for Miami. We just keep saying June. Now, do you have an official date for that? It seems like you do, from what they're telling me.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a great meeting down there in the past 2 days. We are doing it. It's going to be June 26th.
June 26th, people. June 26th.
June
It's going
26th.
to be in Hollywood, Florida,
Okay.
at the Hard Rock Casino.
Sweet.
Really?
So it's a beautiful venue. It's a state of the art venue. It's amazing. So we're going to do a show there. The only thing we don't know is right now we're actually trying to push for 2 shows in the same day. We're going to do something where we're going to do a matinee
Doubleheader?
show. It looks like it's going to happen. So it looks like we're going to do a 2 p.m. show and then an 8 p.m. show. 2 shows in the same day. Just because we have so many fighters that want to fight down there, and the attendance is a little bit limited. So, for it to work for everybody, I think that's what's going to happen. We'll know that actually tomorrow. We get the final news on that. But it looks like we're going to do, the first time ever. I mean, we do a lot of first things.
Yeah, we do.
2 shows in one day. I mean, it's putting a lot of pressure on you guys.
I was thinking the same thing. I'll
on
be
the
dead.
team, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, but at the end of the day, man,
That's
it's going to be
cool.
phenomenal.
It's going to be cool. So another good thing about that, the doubleheader, I would think is, bkfc.com, you grab the app, it's worldwide. So if it's 2 o'clock, it's a little earlier for some of our fans that might be overseas or that might be watching from elsewhere, so they can catch it live a little easier.
Absolutely. So I think it's going to be great for the for everybody in England and Europe and Russia. You know, I don't know if you guys know, but we have a great contingency of Russian fans, man. Every time that we do our shows over there,
big shout out to Mother Russia.
Yeah, it airs over there at 6 a.m. and they're getting 700,000 live viewers.
Breakfast and bare knuckles. We should do an event.
Well, you got one of the best bare knuckle fighters. You signed one of the best bare knuckle Russian fighters there is, man.
I actually he posted something on Instagram, and I told him, I said, "You'll be here very, very soon." And he said, "I can't wait because none of your fighters can beat me."
Ooh, he's ready to go.
Good enough.
He's lighting the fuse like we talked about earlier already before he gets here. I love it.
This is exciting, man. All these signings from around the world. The female division's getting a lot deeper,
hot, isn't it?
New,
I mean, literally and figuratively. I mean, we have beautiful, beautiful women, but I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, it's the competition with these women. I mean,
I agree.
It's unreal.
I agree, and I'll say this: I feel like every time I come to this office, the excitement's here because there's always a new signing I'm walking into or a new announcement. It's just rolling. It's rolling fast. This is kind of what you planned, and now we're here, and it's happening, man.
Yeah, man. We had a very, very successful meeting down there in Miami, man. I can't wait to announce something that we're working on. It's going to be a tremendous project.
There it is again.
Feldman loves coming on these shows. I can't wait to announce this major announcement.
I just can't. You know, I did something for a long time when I was trying to get bare knuckle legalized, and Junior will attest to this. I would post, "Big news coming soon," and he would just be like, "You're such a jerk off. Like, why do you keep saying that when it comes and then announce it?" But we have something really special we're working on. It's going to be an amazing project, and we'll probably announce it this week coming up as soon as we dot the I's and cross the T's. But we have some good things coming up. So many people were really, really excited about this, man. I love being in Miami. It's unbelievable.
Great,
Now, Miami seems to be now the new hub for combat sports.
True.
You know, Fury's training down there. A bunch of bare knuckle fighters are training down there. A lot of UFC gyms are down there. Is this now the HQ for the fighting world?
Well, you know, as I was talking to Tyson, I mean, he is training down there now, but he's going to be in Vegas for his camp for the fight coming up.
Okay.
So yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of top fighters down there. It's crazy, man. There's so many gyms opening up, so many training camps down there. You know, I mean, it's a beautiful place to be. It's hot, you know, and they like that. They like training in the heat. So, you know, it's great. It's a great atmosphere, and man, and just so many events coming up. You know, the Floyd Mayweather event's coming up on June 6th, which I'll be in attendance. As you know, Brian Maxwell's fighting. So
yeah, Brian
Maxwell.
He's fighting Ocho Cinco. So yeah, man, just so many great things are popping right now, man. You know, it really couldn't be any more excited about the future of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship right now.
Yeah, and you definitely seem it. We like hearing from you to find out the inside track. I'm going to hold you, though. He didn't. You can't give us a little hint about this thing you're talking. Just a little hint. You can't give us a little bit? Come on. They want to know. I want to know. Let us know.
It has something to do with fighting.
All right. Bare knuckle fighting or fighting of some sort. I'll take that. I'm not going to pressure that much. I want to keep my job. I mean, there's so much other stuff we talk. If you want to join the show, I don't know if you have a lot of stuff to do. We're going to get into next up the Tryouts and the seminar that just happened.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's.
You know, I'll sit in this. I'm just admiring Rob's shirt.
The Hulkamania shirt.
Running wild, man. Running wild.
Can you do a Hulkamania pose for us as we go to commercials here?
What, the year?
Anything.
It's your
world,
leg
brother.
drop? I will leg drop this table, man.
Actually, I want to hear a Hulk Hogan like an impersonation from you as we go to break. Send us to break. Oh, we're not going to break. Well, act like we're going to commercial and send us to the next segment or something.
Can you put him in a full Nelson, Brian?
I'm getting up right now.
I think I have like 12 slip discs now.
Come on, just be Hulk Hogan for us. I want to hear you.
What you talking about, brother?
Well, you know something, dude. Go, give me one of those.
You do it way better.
It's because I'm a big loser and I stand in my mirror and practice these things rather than going to the gym.
Hulkamania is running wild, say it.
Well, you know something, Dastardly Dave. Hulkamania is running wild on you. Evan's sitting in the other room.
That was
Evan's
great,
like, shut
man.
up, you loser.
That was great.
Diamond Dave. Yeah, it's Diamond Dave. Mr. Spectacular. Show him why. Get a zoom in. Show him why he's Mr. Spectacular. Are the pecs coming out today?
Stop, man.
He's not gonna
Stop it. I don't know what you're talking about.
This guy, man. We're going to find a smaller shirt today.
Oh, man. You got the Hulk Hogan shirt.
I have to.
He can say whatever he wants.
I went to the gym last night. There were the only six-pack that I could, the most recent six-pack was out as a Bud Light that I finished over the weekend, man. This is getting bad, dude. I'm jealous. You look great, man. You look great.
Isn't the dad bod the new thing? You got the dad bod.
Yeah. I'm going to retire the dad bod.
It's good. Retire. You're getting there. All right, since we're not going to commercial, I would let you be Hulk Hogan all day. I'd be the Ultimate Warrior. That's for our wrestling fans. But let's talk about all the stuff that's been going on, including the Tryouts and seminar, which is always a big deal. It's very important if you want to fight for us to come to these Tryouts because we sign a lot of people and we see a lot of great fights. Yeah, let's talk about the latest Tryouts. There was tons of people there, prospects, and it was in Fort Worth, Texas. Of course,
Johnny Bedford's gym.
Yeah, and Johnny Bedford did a little bit of a
phenomenal job,
a training seminar ahead of time.
How to fight 101, basically. BKFC 101.
First time that we did it. I mean, he really like. It's like he practiced it forever and ever, and he didn't. He was unbelievable. He said everything right. Yeah. He just said what the old time bare knuckle fighters said. The same exact thing. It was crazy. Like, where can you hit? Look, if you put your head down and you get hit with a jab, you're hitting someone's head. You're going to break your hand. There goes one of your guns. Now you're not a gunslinger anymore.
That's
so
true.
He just said everything right, man. He was amazing.
He's a very intelligent fighter.
He's going to be back this summer.
But if that's going to be awesome. So if you got him coming back, and if you're a fighter coming to a tryout too, and even if you're a skilled fighter, you can always learn something new. And if Johnny Bedford's there, you're probably listening. And matter of fact, we decided it was such a good idea that he was doing this seminar. Our Lord Evan Zentor, our director of content, he was down there filming, and we have it on the app, bkfc.com, to grab the app if you want. It's free.
Watch it for free right now. Just download the app.
Oh, it's totally free.
Yep.
Watch
it for free.
Watch it on the app, and you can watch How to Fight with Johnny Bedford. I did. I'm still trying to learn, but maybe it'll help you more than help me. You can check that out. But also the thing to check out is Evan Zentor was down there filming. He got a bird's eye view. He was seeing all this stuff going on, and Evan's in the control panel in the control booth. I want to check in with him. Evan, you were there. You saw all these prospects. Anybody that really stood out to you that you enjoyed?
Yeah, there's actually some guys that Johnny trains personally. Don't ask me for names, but some young guys too. I think one dude was 21. He had like 19 Muay Thai fights, undefeated. Just a total beast, and I'm not sure if they decided to sign him or not. I'd imagine they would.
We also had a former world champion, I believe, that was down there too, Julio Garcia. Evan.
Again, I'm gonna.
Yeah, he did good.
I don't know names.
He just knows. She knows what to shoot, and he always. This is the guy that catches all the amazing content. Evan back there, and I know you caught a lot more amazing content at the Tryouts. As a matter of fact, we have a quick clip. We were talking about the Tryouts. Here's a quick clip that Evan caught and put together from this month's Tryouts. Let's watch that.
Awesome.
But how important is this? Right, he can't take me down. And again, look at me. When I put my head in the way, I win. Try to punch me with your left hand. I win this fight all day long. If he can't look at his target, right? Wrestling, it's obvious, right? We understand head position is king. But head position is king in striking too, because how hard can he punch if he's looking at that wall? Right, I'm just winning this battle all day. Right, move him, put my on the other side. Right, he can't, if he's not looking at me, it's very difficult for him to land good shots. Right? But how important is this?
There it is, How to Fight with Johnny Bedford. You can watch the whole thing on the app. That was clipped down. That happened the seminar at our Tryouts. You never know what's going to happen at the Tryouts. You never know who we're going to sign. And I do find that sometimes when we sign these guys from the Tryouts, and I'm sure you would agree, Dave, as well, that we see some of the best fights with the newer fighters. They come out and they want to impress when we sign them. I mean, that's fair to say.
You know, absolutely it is. I mean, they don't leave anything in the dressing room, really. I mean, they have something to prove.
Oh, yeah.
They never got hit with a bare knuckle before, you know, kind of in this type of setting, obviously, because it's their first time doing it this way. And it's just different, and they let it all hang out. And some of these guys let it all hang out time and time again, and some of these guys learn different ways. So different ways to land their punch, different ways not to get hit. You know, as they evolve their game plan moving forward. It's just amazing to see. What's really amazing to see, me and Nate talked about this, is, and Junior too, I believe, the first tryout we ever did, we're like, oh my God, are we going to have anybody here? Like, did anybody sign up?
Right.
Yeah.
And we had like 25 guys, which was cool. And now we're turning people away. Like, we have, you know, I think we had 75 people there at that one.
It's a record.
This one coming up
in Belfast
on Hall of Fame weekend. On the 29th,
Memorial Day weekend.
The 29th. Yep. Yeah, I think we have like 250 people.
I thought you guys were joking. 250? We really have that already signed up?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, wow. Look, on these, you also get a lot of signups that they don't come, but I expect to get about 100 people. But this 100 people that want to fight bare knuckle. Yeah. They want to give it a shot. You know, they want to see what they have. The thing that I like most about this is this is grassroots, right? Like, if some of these guys might have an opportunity to earn a contract with us, and other guys just really love the sport, but they're all talking about it. They're all telling people about it, and it's growing really grassroots with, you know, that kind of style. I love it. I love these tryouts, man. You know, it's amazing. You get fighters from all over the place coming out to these, and this, you know, this one's going to be, you know, a really, really great event. Are you coming, Brian?
They've been asking me this for weeks. The listeners don't know. I cannot make it that week. I'm actually very upset.
Man.
I want to congratulate. I don't know who all is going in. I know that Evan Zentar is going in the Hall of Fame. I know that Dave Jr. is going in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to them. Who else? Anybody else from our organization?
Nate
I thought Nate was already in.
Nate's going to be the matchmaker.
Congratulations, Nate.
David is actually going to be a promoter,
That's
inducted
awesome.
as a promoter,
Congrats.
and Evan's going to be inducted for being a photographer.
And I'm going to be there, and I'm going to protest it because I'm not in.
Evan really, man, shout out to Evan Zentar.
Yeah, he's awesome.
One of the best in the entire business, man.
The best.
He's posing there. He's showing
awesome.
us. Go back to yourself, Evan. You earned those pipes. Show the pipes. That's an extra, but a double XL? You have it on there?
Double XL. I got it on sale at Old Navy yesterday.
Double XL. This guy's
$10.
filling it out. Good for him.
Can you show everybody your shoes?
Sun's out, guns out, baby.
Got today.
There he is.
Almost took out the control booth.
I mean, that's one other thing I don't think people actually recognize is being able to get trained by a world professional fighter. I mean, you're getting free knowledge. So even if you don't land that contract, come out. You're going to learn something.
This one's going to be different, though, Rob. Sorry to cut you off, man. We got Joey Beltran's going to be there.
What?
We got Chris Lytle's going to be there.
In Belfast?
Yeah.
Really?
We've got Britton Hart's going to be there. Elvin Brito's going to be there. There's just so many guys. Louis Palomino's going to be there.
Sign up
So they're
now.
all going to be
now.
there to do the seminar, to talk about it. It's crazy.
I was waiting for that. Thank you. So they're all going to be there doing this. And I would argue, even if you don't get picked, you're one of the prospects that doesn't get picked, if you're going to these things and you're watching a Johnny Bedford and you're knowing what to expect, and you come to another one, you know what to expect, and you're watching somebody else do a seminar. We're going to do more of these seminars. You keep picking up knowledge. So you come to a couple of these and, you're getting better, you're learning more, and now maybe you're signed. It's a growing process, and it's going to be fun to watch as Evan puts these together and we put them on the app to see different fighters that repeatedly come and grow, and to watch the How to Fight series too. I'm looking forward to it.
I was just going to add in, that's the plan with the whole How to Fight series, is to meet different fighters in BKFC and get their sort of their niche and how they do it. Like, you're going to learn how Joey Beltran, has found success. You're going to learn how Chris Lieben has found success. That's kind of it's going to be, I don't want to steal from masterclass or whatever, but it's kind of like, you're getting private lessons basically on how to fight in bare knuckle and how these guys have found success. So I think it's something people will be pretty interested in.
So if you can't show up live, it's going to be on the app. And that's another reason why to download it. It's free. Get it today.
There's a lot of value in the app. I hate to keep showing it, but it's true. Bkfc.com to check it out. And that's just like the sizzle on the steak. You have the events too. And these events, we're running a lot of them. I like steak, brother.
Got the steak and
You ate a
potatoes.
steak at 11 o'clock last night, you told me before we came on the air.
Yeah, man, I shit my brains out for 3 hours. Dude, I left this steak out, right?
But there's nothing new with that, Rob.
Dude, I got done working out at 11 o'clock. I left the steak out by accident. I'm so hungry. I don't care. The steak was out there like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh.
It was a filet though, man. That things ain't cheap.
That's not bad, though.
I think they're supposed to let it rest for half an hour, aren't you?
No, a lot of people leave it out for a long time and they scrape it.
Scrape it.
Scrape it. What do you mean scrape it?
They scrape the fungus off the top of it.
Are you serious? I don't know. Now I'm going to try it.
Try it, Rob.
Thank you for that.
Rob,
But
try
it was
it.
a filet. Dude, it was a filet. I ate it. I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed. I'm in bed at 12 o'clock. 3 o'clock. My stomach is like a balloon.
You should really leave it out for 12 hours next time.
I say 15.
It's called aged beef.
Yeah, it's better. You age it, leave it out.
That's not how you age it, man. That's how you aged me.
Yo,
But I'm feeling much
ask you a
better now. I
question.
got
When
my
you-
Pepto. I'm good.
When you eat your steak, do you put any kind of A1 or anything on it? I
No,
don't. Yeah,
never.
this jerk off, and I'm going to use that term that I cooked filet for one time. A friend of mine comes to my house, beautiful filet. He goes, "Do you have any ketchup?" I said, "Get out of my house. You're not having ketchup on a filet."
Chat. How do you like your steak done? This is a big polarizing thing.
Medium, of course.
Meaning, like, not how you want it cooked.
How do you want it cooked?
Season.
Nah, how do you want it cooked?
Like medium
well.
Do you like it bleeding?
Nah, I'm actually I was a medium well. Now I'm a medium. I'm cool with that. But after last night, I wanted extra well done.
Yeah, I'm
man.
the same.
I like it. I like it medium. I think
You're rare. You're rare.
You're a rare
I am
breed.
a
Very rare.
rare breed. I do think, though, it depends on the kind of steak.
Sure.
I'm a big steak guy. I know Tom Scazzano, we talk about steak all the time. He has all these steak recipes. It's
Nice.
good times. All right.
Let us know, chat, how you like your
How
steak
do you like
done.
your steak? Let us know. Somebody's going to write cooked. I guarantee it.
And I think one other thing that we have is one last signing. If you want to let us know.
Oh, yeah, let's get
who-
on that. The big signing. Yeah, for the June date.
We just signed a former UFC fighter. Did very, very well in the UFC. I believe he fought at 185. He might have fought at 205. He's going to come back as a heavyweight. He's jacked up right now. He said he feels in the best shape of his life, as physically fit as he's ever been. He's a legend in the Gulf Coast. Alan Belcher is now signed for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. He's going to make his debut August 20th in Biloxi, Mississippi, at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum, and I'm really looking forward to see what he can do.
So wait a minute, did we just get another announcement for another venue? Did we trick the president into making an announcement?
That's right, August. There we go. I didn't realize that. You're right, Rob.
Did we talk about July?
Hold on, I want to say something about Belcher.
This is great, man.
I interviewed Belcher on screen last time. He came on the broadcast when we were in Biloxi, I believe. And I'd never met him, but he is a big dude. And to see this guy fight bare knuckles is going to be interesting because when I shook his hand, did you feel that guy's hands? I'm sure he shook his hand, even though it's COVID times,
Belcher?
right? Yeah, he's got some big hands, man. He's going to do some damage. And he's excited. He's really excited. He's a huge
awesome
name,
signing.
like you're saying.
It's
So
awesome.
I'm excited. The crowd's going to go nuts when he walks out.
Another heavyweight to add to the list, man.
I mean,
I don't know where you find these fighters at. This is crazy.
It's getting deep, really crazy. It's getting deep. Now, like I said, some of the things that I want to talk about next week, and I will drop next week, we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's, like I said. We've got some really big things to talk about next week. It's going to be great for the organization.
Teaser is out.
We're really doing some really big things. It was time for us. There's like levels, right? And you get to this level, and then you need to go to the next level. So now we have to level up and go to the next level and announce some of these big signings and some really big projects that we're working on for the app. And it's going to be fantastic. This company is just growing. Everything about it's growing. The sport's growing. What makes me happiest about this is obviously the company's growing, but the sport itself, there's other promotions around the world that are doing this, and they never even thought about bare knuckle until we launched in 2018. And now there's 3 or 4 prominent companies in Russia. There's like 3 or 4 in England. There's one in Norway. There's one in Italy. There's one in Thailand. There's a lot of these companies coming up, which is great, man. I'm glad that we got to lay the lay the foundation down for it.
And the pool's deeper now for talent too. You can look around the world and see more talent than we might not have seen it. Now that you're seeing all these organizations everywhere, people that might not have thought about doing bare knuckle, they're doing it, and we can say, hey, this guy's good, this female's good.
So I'm not 100% confirmed on this, but I'm trying to get Shaq on the podcast for you next week.
This guy,
because he's going to come on and announce something with me. Hopefully that he can clear his schedule and be on the podcast next week because we're actually doing something together.
O'Neal, that would be
Shaq,
awesome.
I don't know you, but did you tell him it's Brian and Rob? Makes it very. He'll come on.
Drop them
I
likes.
Shaq, Brian wants to talk to you on the podcast.
Shaq's a Hulkamaniac.
If we can at least 1,000 likes, we will harass Shaq to get him live on the show. So drop some likes up there.
Yeah, I'll probably call him if you give me his number. I'd love to do that. It'd be so much fun. I think he'd enjoy it.
Ben's,
what's Big
Ben?
Big
shout out, #1 fan, Big Ben.
He wants free tickets. He wants free tickets. That's all.
Big Ben is awesome, man.
Big Ben, you're awesome. That's funny. So we have a lot of other stuff we want to talk about. We have one more thing we should get to. Thank you for that, Big Ben. And you can stay for this if you'd like. We're going to do the knockout of the week. And matter of fact,
here we go, man.
Huh?
Yeah, like big.
Jack, show your arms off if you like. Everyone's posing today. You're looking big.
I've been working out a lot, man.
24-inch python.
It was time. It was like, I was just feeling like shit, to be honest with you, man. And it's funny because one of the guys I was on here a couple weeks ago, and one of our friends texted me. He's like, "Do you need to start working out? You look like shit." So I'm like, "Fuck it, let me start working out again, man."
You look great, man.
I just been really trying to get to a different place. I was feeling like shit. Look, how I work 24 hours a day.
Schedule you're keeping. That's what I was gonna say.
I mean, I gotta take care of myself, or I'm not gonna be able to do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, definitely. Well, let's get in here from here to the knockout of the week. There's a lot of good ones, and we do a thing. I don't know if you remember this. The knockouts are great. So I'm going to let you do it. When we point to the camera and you make it happen, make it come out of your hand. Throw at the camera, Dave. Go ahead, throw.
This camera?
That camera right there. Knockout of the week. Oh, he did it. He's got the power of the Prez. So we have great knockouts this week. The one that's coming up first, I believe, following the format is yours, Rob.
Yeah, this is my knockout. This is the delayed knockout from UFC, man. Where
we talked about this earlier.
Wow. Yeah. Is that Shane Burgos?
Yep.
Shane.
Yep. There we go. There it is. Took 2 shots.
Shane fought for me before in my MMA promotion that I had.
As a fighter,
that is just so he's gone. He didn't have to follow up right there.
I saw that.
Can we watch that one more time?
Yeah, let's show it again. I'm curious, as a former professional fighter, Dave, what happened here with this knockout? Describe it for us.
So what happens is, here's what happens sometimes in these delayed reactions is what they're called. You get hit and it hits a nerve, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time for that to travel down to the nerve, which kind of collapses you, and that's actually what happened.
That took like 3 solid seconds for
Yeah.
it to really register.
Absolutely. And that dude, like when he fought for us on XFE before. He's just a phenomenal dude. I mean, he could fight, and I picked him. I said, dude, this dude's going to be world champion. So
fighting in the UFC, I mean, it doesn't get any.
He can bang, man.
So I have a question for you, Dave. You're talking about the delayed knockout, delayed reaction. Is that a thing where you're trying to tell yourself to keep fighting, but you can't? You just fall backwards, or is it where you're done as soon as you get hit?
No, it's something that you don't even know. You know, you got hit, you got stunned, but you don't even know. It just knocks your equilibrium off, and you're done.
Well, that was a hell of a knockout. I was watching that live, and I was like, we were like, did he get whoa?
Yeah.
You know, I think everyone had the same reaction. So great knockout of the week. Next up, my knockout of the week. We're going to call it the baseball bat beatdown. And I know somebody does a good Philly. We're in Philly, a good Harry imitation. Maybe you can do it.
Oh, shit.
I don't know, but she's taking shots. We should sign up for Bkfc. She can hit me in the face with a bat.
A wooden bat?
No, that's aluminum.
I don't care.
Shit, a metal bat. Holy shit, dude. Where is that girl at?
Sign
She can
that
take a
chick,
punch.
Dave. Sign her, man.
Top of the division. Swing it a long drive. Baseball, bare knuckle, whatever. Get her signed up. I don't even know. I don't know anything about that. I just saw it somewhere, and it blew my mind that she's got a chin like that.
You can take a baseball bat to the face, man.
She could probably get hit by Mike Tyson and
If you
stand
can
up for
dodge
doing
this
that.
wrench, you can dodge.
My
a punch.
gosh. Like, and what the heck? What the heck
What
caused
a
that?
funny movie, man. That was great.
Oh,
That was
sorry.
unbelievable. If you can dodge my wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Thank you,
Name that movie. We'll get the first person to name that movie right now. Free T-shirt.
I don't even know that movie. I don't think. I'm trying to think what it is in my head.
Actually, speaking of naming movies,
Yeah.
can we ask the chat what Evan was going for on a Zoom call yesterday?
Oh, Ron Maiden. It's Ron, look, it's Ron Maiden. His arms, he cut it off. So he's Ron. What are we saying? Ron Maid.
If I could defend myself here.
No, there's no defense, bro.
I think it's awesome.
Wow.
I sit in my office all day.
Yeah.
And I was going to go on a bike ride, you know, to try and look like
Like a motorcycle
our president
bike
and founder,
ride?
David Feldman. I was trying to, you know, work on the pythons and it. And anyway, they told me to hop on a Zoom call because we're coordinating some production out in England for our good buddy Tyler Goodjohn. And, you know, the pythons were out.
I think Evan was posing. I think he was flexing his arm in that picture.
That's great.
He was
He was
impressed.
flexing the entire call. I had to screenshot it.
No, what type of bike call was that? Like Hell's Angels or like
it's
Tour
a-
de France?
It's a Schwinn.
What does your Slayer shirt say? Does it say Slay? Do you cut through those
Slay.
letters too?
I hope. Yeah, I don't know.
Lay. I love it. No, Iron Maiden's a great band. I'm not begrudging you for that. I love that it's Ron Maid. That's your name, Ron.
Let's see
trying to
that
grow
picture
up
one
my,
more time.
I'm trying to grow up my
Let's
Tom
see that
Schoaf
picture one more
mustache.
time.
I like the mustache too.
The Tom Schoaf
Well,
mustache.
I think
on.
we should have Schoaf on the podcast, and we should all have a mustache and just not
So
say.
I want you guys to
But
drop
don't-
in
no,
the
we
comments.
can't
No,
say
I
it.
want you to drop in the comments what Evan's alternate career could be. Drop that in the comments.
Front man for Queen.
I'll
You got
say-
mine
yeah,
right
Freddie
there.
Mercury. I was going to say some kind of porn star with that mustache from the 70s.
Please be nice.
I like it. Evan, I like that's nice if they think you're a porn star. I think that's a compliment. And then
Yeah, I know.
you can Yeah. And he's got the camo on it again. Double XL. Double
I'm
XL
hiding.
Evan in
I'm
there.
in disguise.
Well, that was a fun thing. I didn't know that was coming up. Ron Maiden.
I want to say thank you real quick to Kevin in the comments. He gave me a shout out. Thank
Big
you,
shout out to
Kevin.
Mama.
Freddie Mercury was a
There it is.
sex
Man.
Mercury.
That's a sex
There it
symbol right
is.
there. I'll take it.
Hey, maybe Freddie Mercury's a legend. Killer queen in there. All right, so let's go to our third. Get some
Fan knockout.
third
of the
knockout of the
week.
week. The fan knockout. This comes from John S. And the baseball fan KO in the stands.
Big shout out to John Schaefer.
Oh, is this from Schaefer?
Yep.
I was?
Oh!
Oh!
Dude, did his teeth fall
Oh, what happened?
Look at this. His teeth or is it spit? Look at the lady in the background.
She
She's
knew
got-
shit was going down
she's
before it
reacting
happened.
Before it happened. Didn't even start swinging yet. Look at her.
Yo,
Was that spit or his teeth?
I don't know what happened. I can't
That's
speak.
not his teeth.
I can't.
Is that his teeth? Slow motion, Ev.
I don't know if we can do slow, but I love the lady's reaction too. Look, now she's got it. Now after it happened, she has her hand over. She was ready for that.
But then you see everybody jump on him.
Did they?
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, that was a solid punch. He's still moving forward.
Can we let it play a little more?
It might
And,
be
and
cut off.
see
It might
everybody
be
jump
edited
on him?
there. They
No,
might
we
not
don't have that
part.
part.
I
Oh,
mean, there goes the glasses.
dude.
Yeah, listen, I don't know what
Well, that was the
occurred.
glasses
Hopefully
that flew off. I thought you're not supposed to hit a man with glasses.
Hopefully the guy's okay, and that was resolved. But
look at Rob trying to be the politically correct guy.
That was a brutal shot, though.
It really was.
He knocked him out standing
Let's
up.
sign him too, but only to be the opponent for Louis Palomino.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I think it was a fun show today. I'm so happy you're here. I didn't even know you were going to come into this. It's great.
Yeah,
I flew in late
some
last
great
night.
Great news.
I wasn't even supposed to be in today.
Do you really have a pink limo? He said you have a pink limo. Is that true? Because I haven't seen it.
When when you're doing big deals, man, you got to drive in big wheels.
I want a pink. He's probably got the hot tub in it, one of those kind of limos at top.
Man.
You know what I mean?
It's got that old school cell phone.
It's got the bag cell. Remember the bag cell phones back when they came in a bag? You got one of them? Remember those?
Yeah, I have one.
All right, listen.
Fucking man.
That's right, my man. All right, well, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate
Rob,
it, man.
always a pleasure with
Brian,
you, too.
Absolutely.
I'm going to cheers my Tiger Life as my playout music comes on, and we're going to say don't forget to grab the app at bkfc.com. And we'll be back here again. Thank you to Luis Palomino for joining us. Thank you to you for joining us. And until next week, I'll do a Tiger Life toast with you, and I'll go ding, knuckle up. Thanks for being here.